Hello crafters, this is Gareth from Elf Creations, and then Lisa G's Creations then, and welcome to card number 2 in the Winter Wonderland card series. We're going to make this card today, so I'm going to be using the Winter Wonderland stamp set, obviously, which is still available in my store. There will be a link in the comments section and in the description bar below. I'll be using the art glitter glue, some scrap pieces of cardstock, some blue ribbon, Memento ink pad, the ornate oval nesting die set from my store, the square foam pads from my store, this paper pad that I got from my pound store. It's going to 6x6 card. My insert is 5 3/4 inches, and I'll also be doing another insert which is about 1/18 of an inch, slightly bigger, using this paper to mount. So I'll have the card, first mount, then second mount. We'll also be using a snow embossing folder, and let's get started. If I can think of anything else that I've forgotten, I'll go through it. So the first thing you need to do is I need to choose some paper from here. And I think I'm going to go, I use this paper on the my trial card. So I'm going to go back to that. I just want to mimic the same card. And what I've decided to do, crafters, one second please. Sorry crafters, that was my mum calling me. She completely threw me off my whack. Right, I've chosen this paper from this pad, and this is from my pound store. So I'm going to cut this so it is about an eighth of an inch bigger than this 5 3/4 inch insert. So let me just grab my paper trimmer. Let's get rid of all these things out of my way. How I wish for a craft room rather than a craft space, but we work with what we are given. Right, so this is going to be 1/8 of an inch. I don't think I only got to cut one side because I think it's perfect the other side. Yep. So that is going to be my first insert, and I will use this as the backing. So let me get my cuttle bug. So in regards to that particular piece of paper, there's very little waste. So I'm going to use my cuttle bug, pop my piece of paper, and the largest of the two dies that I'm using. Right, let's pop that in, and we put that through. Okay, I will be using the cuttle bug a bit later on. So for now, I'm going to put that to one side. So that is literally all the wastage we've got, and you could, in fact, if you wanted to, you could cut this off and cut this off, and they would make nice little mats for some sentiments. So entirely your choice if you do that. It looks like I've got some ink on here from my fingers probably, but I will be covering that up. But this has the lovely stitch detail all the way around the edge because of the die that we used. Right. I think what I'll do now is I will emboss the white insert, and that's the main insert that we see. So I'm going to just use a standard Sizzix embossing folder, and if I can find where I put the card, because all I'm going to do is I'm going to emboss this, the first kind of the main kind of 3/4 of it, and then I'm going to leave the bottom plain. If you wanted to emboss it all and you've got a 6x6 embossing folder, then please do that, but for me I just wanted to have a plain white space at the bottom, so I'm going to put that through the embosser so it looks like that. So that's what I'm going to be ended up with. So cuttle bug away. While I've got this out, I'm going to use the scrap of ribbon and some sellotape, and we are going to put a bit of ribbon just where the embossing ends and the plain white begins, so it's like that. So turn it over, wrap that around, secure it with some sellotape. Making sure I've got a nice even straight line on the other side. Turn it over, cut off the excess, put that back in my offcut tub. I have a tub full of offcuts, so I like to try and use those before I start a new ribbon spool. So we end up with that, and then that's going to go on top of there. But before we get to that stage, we need to create the inking. Now I'm going to be using two different blues. If I can find my scrap paper. So we're going to be using the Broken China, and we are going to be using Faded Jeans. So I am going to turn this piece of scrap paper so it's lengthways, and I'm going to come up, because that's the size, so I need my image to be in this area, so I'm going to come approximately 2 inches up from the bottom, and I'm going to create the skyline. These crisp blues always remind me of a snowy winter day, because the sky is always full and white and fluffy, but it's usually very blue and crisp. Well, at least here in the UK it is anyway. Okay, just merge this darker blue in with that lighter blue. Okay, that's it in regards to the inking and the background. It's really quite simple, but it has such a nice feel to it. Now going to the stamp set, I'm going to be using these two images here. Now I have cut my images. I have cut them so I can stack them and use them on smaller, because that's quite a long stamp set. So if you feel comfortable enough to do that, then cut them, because they still stamp really well, you know, when you use them separately. So I'm going to be using the house and trees, and I think I'll use the children playing on this one, and I'm going to use my mini Misty. So bringing over the cardstock that I inked up, put my magnets in place. Now I want the trees and the house to be in the background, so like that, and I want my children playing to be in the foreground. So I have it like that. So close that up, and then using the good old trusted Memento, and this is the Memento, and it's the is it Black Onyx? Tuxedo Black. Black Onyx is the VersaFine. And we're going to stamp. So like I was saying earlier on, what I've decided to do, that's what I think I was just talking about when my mum called me and distracted me. I am making a sample of each of these cards from the series, and what I want to do is, come November of 2017, I want to go back and I want to enter everybody that's commented and who is a subscriber to this channel. Everyone who is entered and is a subscriber on each of these videos, you'll get one entry, and then I'm going to do a raffle copter, and you are going to be in for the chance to win 11 cards. So I'm going to keep one for myself for me to use, but the ones I make before I do the video, I want to give away, and I'm also going to create a storage box for them to go in. So that's something to look forward to later on in the year. Now I may have done that slightly too low down. Looking at it now, maybe I should have done it further up, but we'll see. So I've got my A plate and my B plate. So back to the Cuttlebug, and we have my C plate. So putting the image in the Cuttlebug and using the smaller one of the dies. Okay, I'm just going to get that And the good thing about this, I can move it around and decide what I want, but I want that one being thrown, I think. Actually, I'm going to go in the center there. That's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to put it through the cutter block. Thing is, it's all about playing. It's all about getting things where you want them. And pop you out. Okay. Right, let's put some foam dots on the back. If you haven't tried these foam dots, I really do recommend them. I sell them in my store, which is gsembellishmentemporium.com. I'll have a link in the comments. I sell 440 of these foam dots for 50p, which is probably about $60 US. So really, really good value for money. So I'm going to pop that on there like that. I've got it smudged a bit, I think. So this will be one that I keep. I won't be giving this one away at the end of the year. I will give the other one away because it's neater. And then some glue. My good old trusted art glitter glue. I'm going to pop that on the ribbon and the card. And I'm going to adhere this insert onto the blue. And then we need to adhere this to the card base. So make sure that you're commenting on each of these card series over the next few months, or right up until Christmas. And then in November I will do a draw, and one lucky winner will be the winner of this card series, and the other one will be a winner of the other card series, including a box to store them in. So there we go, crafters. I've done this one so it was that way round, and this one it's that way round, but as you can see they can be made different lengths, different sizes. So this one will be going in with the kit that's given away. I'll keep this one because it's got some smudges on it. But there's today's card in the Winter Wonderland card series. Thank you very much for joining me, and I will see you very soon with another Christmas craft. Take care now. Bye bye.